When Alex inherited his great-great-uncle's old countryside house, he thought he'd finally have some peace and quiet. The first night, as he was getting ready for bed, he thought he heard footsteps in the attic above him. He assumed it was just the old wood settling in the new weather. But every night the footsteps got louder and more distinct, and every night he could hear them coming closer. Down the stairs on the fourth night, Alex decided he'd had enough. He locked his bedroom door, but that didn't stop whatever was making the noise. At 3:15 a.m. he was awoken to the sound of his doorknob turning slowly. A whisper, cold and raspy, seeped through the keyhole. "I can see you," it hissed. Alex's phone battery was dead. The lights flickered and the footsteps stopped right outside his door. He held his breath, listening. Then he heard a loud crash as something heavy hit the floor on the other side of the door. Whatever it was trying to get in. He knew that if he didn't do something, whatever was out there would eventually break down the door and get to him. So he grabbed the poker from the fireplace and braced himself against the door. He could feel the vibrations of whatever was on the other side, growling and scratching at the wood. Then suddenly it stopped. Alex cautiously opened the door a crack and looked out into the hallway. He could see the faint outline of a hunched figure at the end of the hallway, illuminated by the moonlight. It seemed almost skeletal, like a starved animal. Its limbs were twisted at unnatural angles and its mouth was stretched into a silent scream. Then the creature did something that made Alex slam the door and lock it again. It took a step forward, then another, its feet making no sound on the wooden floor. It reached out a hand, or what Alex assumed was a hand, because he couldn't actually see its face. Then it vanished into the shadows. Alex didn't wait around to find out what it was. He grabbed his things and ran, not stopping until he reached the neighbor's house 2 streets over. The neighbors were an elderly couple who had lived there for decades, and when they saw Alex's haggard appearance and heard his frantic story, they invited him in and called the police. By the time the officers arrived, though, the house was empty. They found no signs of forced entry and no one had reported a burglary. As the sun began to rise, the neighbors saw a single figure standing at the attic window, smiling down at them. It waved, and they could have sworn it was Alex's hand, the same hand that had reached out of the darkness and beckoned to him from the hallway.